It's Week 9 of the National Football League, and we'll see Geno Smith. He's going to have to air it out plenty this week. It's the Seahawks and the Rams, just ahead on EA Sports.
Renamed in late 2020, there's a look at Lumen Field here in Seattle, Washington. With Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Charles, you look at this Seahawks team as they get ready here. And losers their last time out, so they'll look to make amends here.
And one of the best ways you can do that is to be at home, and they are. They're going to try and ride that home crowd and that wave of emotion to a victory in this one.
Meanwhile, for the visiting Rams, they come in wondering what on earth is going on here as they sit in last place at 0-7.
And it's really difficult to report to work every day with that type of a losing.
The first 2 months of the regular season down. What will the final two bring us as we're off in Week 9? And able to take it past the 25 and up to the 28-yard line. The Seahawks set to go on offense here, and it is the Pro Bowler Geno Smith at quarterback, Charles, in his 12th NFL season.
And Smith continues to show that his career resurgence hasn't been some fluke. He's brought a level of maturity, stability, and good play that allows him to compete with any team on any given week. The real question is whether or not he can become a championship-caliber quarterback. Only time will tell, but for now, he's done enough to give this franchise reason to believe they can certainly get the job done.
Now it's 2nd and 10.
At the 27-yard line.
Sticking with Walker on 2nd down. And he'll be brought down shy of the 40 at the 38-yard line. So from 2nd and long, now we go to 3rd and very manageable.
Yeah, they love that phrase, don't they? Because as an offensive coordinator, you can keep people a little bit off balance in guessing because you don't have to throw it. You can come back with a strong run game if you want to. And if you're in 4-down territory, that really opens things up for you.
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. Again, it's Walker. And he is swallowed up right at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play. It'll be 2nd down.
No gain on the play. Brings up 2nd and 10.
They'll send the big tight end in motion right. Off of play action. Here's Smith. And that'll fall incomplete. He was hit just as he let that go. And now it's 3rd down. Right where this set of downs started, they need a full 10 here to pick up the 1st down and move the chains. To throw is Smith. Fighting to stay upright. He had a man open, but he missed him, and it's incomplete.
1 first down here, and that's all, folks. Good work by this defense to hold things in check and force a punting situation.
On 4th down, ready to punt, Michael Dixon. A punt of 46, a return of 5. And the Rams will go on offense here with a 1st and 10. The L.A. offense going to go to work for the first time, and it is the veteran Matthew Stafford at the helm in his 16th NFL season and 4th with the Rams.
And this is a game for grit, determination, and somehow finding a way not to panic. What a horrible start for them. I mean, they haven't won a game yet. So now, as a quarterback, you're not just talking to your team. You've got to demonstrate to them what they need to do to win. He's got to be the leader by how he plays.
He lost 9 there. That's really going to set him back for 2nd down. Stafford now to throw. He'll drop this down to Williams. And he's able to break out of 1 tackle, but then quickly brought down. 2 yards on the pickup there. And they're going to be staring at a 3rd and long here. Back to throw, Stafford. Now that's to the left sideline and incomplete. And now we're going to get a stoppage as, yeah, that looks like Jackson who's shaken up. So as the medical staff takes a look, we'll step aside. So on 4th down, on is Ethan Evans to punt for the Rams. Back deep for the Seahawks, Tyler Lockett. It'll be a 39-yard punt, no return, and it'll be Seahawk football, 1st and 10. Seattle's offense coming back onto the field, ready for their second drive. 4-4 their record through 8 games on the season. Would you say that this team has overperformed, underperformed, or are they kind of right where you thought that they would be?
Do you mind if I say yes, yes, and yes? Because ultimately to me, 4-4 is about where they should be, because we've seen weeks where they've been really, really good. They've looked terrific. Other weeks where we've wondered just how good is this team. They want to be consistent in their play, not consistently inconsistent, which is what they've been thus far.
Now 3rd down and 7.
It's 3rd and 7.
Smith now to throw. And this is going to be incomplete. And this passing game's whole offense really didn't show up in the loss last week, and it hasn't started all that great here either.
Yeah, they can't let that incompletion become an uh-oh moment. Like, oh boy, here we go again, just like last week. Each game is its own entity, treated as such.
And no one there to stop it. Hits at the 8, but it carries all the way into the end zone for a touchback. So the Rams coming back onto the field, their second drive of the game. And the first drive, 3 and out. Second possession, see if they can get a little momentum.
And oftentimes that first drive is just a feeling out process. You have some plays that you've got called and you want to see how defense reacts. It may not go terrific on the first one. Now they're ready to go. They've kind of got a look at them, got a sense. Let's see if they open things up a little bit.
See if they open things up. Let's see what the defense does here, too, after a good stop. Here's Stafford. He'll get this complete to Cooper Kupp. And he's going to get 7 out of this before being taken down at the 27. 3rd and 3. Stafford. Pass taken in by his big tight end. And he gets this up to the 34 out of bounds there. First catch for him on the afternoon, and it results in a first down. Now some movement before the snap. And we'll hear from our referee for the first time this afternoon. So they accept the penalty, of course, and push the offense backwards a bit. A false start backs them up 5, 1st and 15. Now a give up the middle to Williams. And he'll get it out near the 40 to the 39. Without the previous penalty, that would have been a first down. Instead, it's just a gain of 10. Ball on the 39. Here's 2nd and 5. They'll stay on the ground with Williams. And some nifty running here as he'll take this across midfield and down to the 47. First down, Los Angeles there with a pickup of 14 yards. They'll fake it. Now Stafford. Pressure comes. He's taken down by the Seahawk defense. Uchenna and Wosu got the sack there. I think a lot of time when we see a sack, you say, well, you blame it on the offensive line, the quarterback, but here, maybe you just tip your hat to the defender. What a play.
Yeah, and I think sometimes they just get a sense of the play before the ball's even snapped. Kind of like a sprinter anticipating the gun in a race. They're off, and guess what? The quarterback's down.
Short completion, just 4 yards, and that's going to lead to a 3rd and 11. Backed up here, tough spot, needing 11 yards to pick up the first. Now it's Stafford. This one swung out to Williams. And he'll be brought down at the 48-yard line. They'll get only a yard out of that, and it'll bring up 4th down. Ethan Evans on now to punt. And this will be out of bounds. Now it's a question of where they'll mark it. And they'll say it crosses at the 11-yard line. And out now come the Seahawks. They have the game here followed by the open date on their calendar next weekend. And Charles, this is a crew that you have to think really is relishing the opportunity to be on the couch for a few days.
Yeah, they certainly are, but let's face it, partner. They can't get caught looking ahead to that couch time while they're playing this one. They've got to take care of business first.
And 7 at the 14-yard line.
Throwing now is Geno. This is Fant on the short completion. And he's got some space here. And he's got this almost to the 40 before going out. 25 yards there on the catch and run.
And this was a nice example of an offensive coordinator scheming his guy open. Just a little underneath route, just trying to free up some space. And it worked awfully well. Got him not just space, but plenty of room to run after the catch to pick up really nice yardage.
So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. Geno now to throw. No chance to get away there for Smith as he goes down. The sack recorded. It's a loss of 5, and now it's 2nd down.
At the 33-yard line.
Now we've got whistles and movement up front. I think this is against Seattle. Oh, jumping early from his tight end spot. Maybe trying to get a jump start on that route.
Yeah, I think you're exactly right about that. And oftentimes when you see that, that means the play call was supposed to come in his direction, and he was eager to go catch a pass.
And the pressure gets to him again. And while all of that was going on with a sack, it appears, unfortunately, we have an injured player. While they come out and take a look at him, we will step aside for just a moment. Need something from deep in the bag of tricks here after 1st and 2nd down went backwards. It's 3rd and very long. Now he'll look to throw it. Setting up the screen here. This is Walker. And down he'll go at the 25. He did his best to just get 4 out of that, but not enough. And now 4th down. Here's Michael Dixon now to punt. And he's getting a workout here in this first quarter as he gets it away. So just a 3-yard return following a punt of 45. And out will come the offense as they take over. L.A. readies for its next possession. We've seen both of these offenses still sort of in that figuring things out phase, but I suspect some action on the scoreboard soon as they start out here 1st and 10. They start the drive on the ground. It's Williams. Able to break through that initial contact and winds up getting about 3 there. It's 2nd down. 2nd and 7, operating from the 34. Now a play fake it at Stafford. Now he's free to midfield and brought down across the 50 to the 49-yard line. First time they've hooked up here. Good for 17 and a 1st down.
But one of the ways that quarterbacks keep all the receivers alive in a play, never lock in on any one guy. Make sure you keep your eyes moving, scan the field, and here he finds the open guy for a nice pickup.
And they'll send the tight end in motion. From the gun, here's Stafford. He'll get that complete to Parkinson. So no gain on the play, and that'll make it 2nd down.
Brings up 2nd and 10 on the Seahawks 49-yard line.
Up the middle, it's Williams. And he'll do a nice job here just to fight his way back to the line of scrimmage. No gain on that one as it brings up a 3rd and 10. Now Stafford. That's incomplete, but there is a flag down, so hang on. A big call coming on 3rd down. So they decline the hold, and that's going to lead to a 4th down. Here's Ethan Evans now. He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. And this will be out of bounds, and they spot it at the 15-yard line. Not too bad. Now the ball now going back over to the Seattle Seahawks offense. Well, partner, fast forward with me for a second. Remember, next week they have the open week, so they're going to get some extended rest. Does that change how they manage the rest of this one?
I think it does a little bit, but not by too much, because you're right. You get the extra rest, you get a chance to heal up and kind of, do a little bit of a reset for this team. But it's also 7 extra days to think back to the last time you were on the field. So now, a little more importance on what they're getting done because they carry it with them for essentially 2 weeks.
Second quarter now from Seattle, and it is the Seahawks with the football here. From the 20, here's a 2nd and 5. As they've got it as we resume action. In motion goes the tight end. Now they go play action with Howell. And he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes. It'll go as a loss of about 6, and now it brings up 3rd. Howell. Under pressure, and they got to him again. And that'll bring up 4th down on the big sack with a loss of 5.
I think you saw the same thing that I did there, partner. Remember, he's their backup quarterback, so the last thing they need is to lose another one right here on the sack. Looks like he's going to be okay, though.
Yeah, he looked like he was favoring something in the left leg. Appears to be fine now, but you're right. That O-line, they got to protect him. It's fielded at the 45. It'll be a 10-yard return following a punt of 45. And the Rams are going to start this drive in great field position as they take over. Play action. Stafford. And his throw's going to be incomplete.
Whenever I see an in-route dropped, as we just saw on that play, I'm always thinking that in the back of their mind, they're worried about what's coming at them because they're going towards traffic on that route as opposed to being away from it and maybe having a little bit more space.
A solid stiff arm. And past the 35, he'll be dropped a yard or 2 shy of the 30. 41 yards rushing for him now, and he's carried the ball just 5 times.
Now, that was an excellent run. And when you see that happen, that's when you're seeing guys doing their job and then some people doing a little bit more. Offensive linemen and tight ends, they're expected to block. But the wide receivers, all they want to do is catch passes. So when they block on a big-time running play and create extra space, you've kind of hit the jackpot there.
And that one drops down, incomplete. Good coverage there, forced the ball free, and it's 2nd down. And they'll send the tight end in motion here. Throw left side, taken in by Renfro. He'll be dropped at the 25 after a gain of 6. The Rams on 3rd down. They've only converted once in 4 tries. This is 3rd and 4. Now Stafford. Oh, he had him. He was open, but he couldn't get it to him. It's incomplete.
I think you put just a little bit too much heat on that one. When you throw it to the outside, you do have to be careful because you got to keep it away from the defender, but you also have to give your own guy a chance too.
And his kick is good. And the Rams have the first points here. It's 3-0. So they're able to end that drive with 3 points in this one-possession ball game.
And ideally, you want to end every drive with points. Most quarterbacks would tell you, let's end it with a kick, right? A PAT, that's number 1. Field goal you'll take. Punts, you really don't want to do that. In this case, they'll take the field goal and get prepared for the rest of the game.
Now Smith and the Seahawks going to come up 1st and 10 at their own 26. Hands it to Walker to begin the series. And he's taken down but able to slip across the 35.
Illegal blocking the offense.
So a decent gain there on the play, but that all gets wiped out with a penalty.
Well, that's a setback, but all the good play callers, they just move on. They find something else in the playbook that can attack this defense, and they go right back on the offensive on this play.
They'll get a yard, that's all, as they get him down at the 28. 2nd down, 8 to go from the 28.
2nd down at the 28-yard line.
They'll fake the handoff. Now Smith. Walker with a grab, left side. And to the 36-yard line, taken down there after getting 8 yards. These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on 3rd down. They'll try for the first with Walker. And he'll be brought down right at the 45-yard line. And that gain of 9 buys them a new set of downs. The Seahawks at 500 now, 4-4 on the year. They were losers last time out, trying to turn things around here in this one.
And it always helps to have a home crowd behind you, giving you encouragement as long as you give them something good to cheer about. So you know they just want to come out and play well for their faithful, and I expect them to do just that.
First down Seattle on a pickup of 13.
Yeah, they really needed to get something going, didn't they? They had punted on the last 2 possessions. The running game starting to come to the front for them, providing a nice pickup there to keep this drive going.
Walker now on 1st and 10. And he's going to get this one down to the edge of the red zone. That's good for 21 yards and a first down.
I think they like this drive a little bit better there, partner. Running game helping out, picking up some of the slack. Because remember, the last drive they went 3 and out.
An inaugural trip to the red zone here for the Seahawks. 1st and 10 right at the 20. Now maybe a free play here for Smith. This is the tight end Fant. And this will leave him a yard short. Nice pickup of 9 yards on 1st down. Well, we looked at each other right when he flinched. We knew that that flag was coming.
Yeah, offsides, easy call, mark off the 5, and keep it moving.
Following the penalty, it's 1st and 5, and you got to think offensively, all kinds of options. They'll try the air now with Smith. And he's going to go down. He's sacked back at the 24. That one will set him back nearly 10 yards here on 1st down on the sack. And from the gun, here's a handoff to Charbonnet. And a good run as he manages 7 yards down to the 17.
On a 2nd and long, it's really nice to see an offense that has enough confidence to run the football in that situation. I think that goes back to their practice and game planning. They've seen things that they've seen on tape and in previous games that led them to believe that even in a long-distance situation, they can still run the football and gain enough yardage to put themselves in a good spot on 3rd down.
Throwing is Smith. And this will be caught by Metcalf for a Seahawk touchdown. A great effort there with touchdown number 8 on the year. And the Seahawks have taken the lead. Certainly there are good things about quick strike offenses that score fast, but a long drive can also work to your advantage as well.
In so many ways, Brandon, because number one, you get them tired, but the big one is mentally. They can't figure out how to slow you down, how to get off the field, how to get the ball back. They go to the bench wondering, what are we going to do next time in order to stop those guys?
Myers connects on the PAT, and that makes it a 7-3 lead. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get this up to the 29. Now the Rams offense getting the football back. And after the field goal last time, let's see what they can get here. At least they got points out of the last drive, Charles.
I've never met an offensive coach that didn't want to drive to end with a kick. Most of them want it to end with a PAT, right? In this case, a field goal, they'll take it. Way better than the alternative, which is a punt.
Yeah, but you met fan bases that wanted that, that weren't happy with that field goal.
I haven't met a fan base yet that wants to drive to end with a kick, other than the extra point. That's it.
Off of play action, here's Stafford. And he's going to be down at the 35, gain of 7.
Many teams, as soon as they spot man defense, if they haven't called a hitch, they'll get to it as fast as they can. They want to put the ball in the hands of one of their best playmakers and hope that he can break a tackle on the outside and go for big yardage.
Back to Renfro again, complete. He's still on his feet. And he'll be out of bounds, but able to get it up past the 45. Catch number 4 for him on the afternoon, and it'll give him a first down.
That's a play that will likely be forgotten when you talk about big moments in this game. But plays like this are critical to keep drives going. And if points result, we'll call this play significant.
In motion, the tight end, Stafford. And that is going to be incomplete as he let him a bit too much. He shook his head right when he released that throw. He knew it was going to be a little off target.
Yeah, the excitement got him on that one. Wasn't able to control the fact the receiver was open, and it would have been an easy throw.
Throw left side, complete to Kupp. And he goes out of bounds. It looks like right at the 50. Here comes 3rd down and 7. From the 50, it's Stafford. Trying to find Kupp, but it's intercepted. Picked off by Jerome Baker. And the Seahawks are going to take over a couple of yards shy of midfield. Boy, he had to fit that into a pretty tight window over the middle. And, Charles, I think they were in zone defensively, weren't they?
They certainly were. Nice read on your part. And sometimes the quarterback isn't fooled between zone and man. Sometimes just fooled by the type of zone that he sees. Because oftentimes, those linebackers will vacate and run downfield with receivers. In this case, he played a pure zone and was in the wrong spot for the QB.
So here are the Seahawks ready to take over on offense. They're trying to get back on track following the loss to Buffalo a week ago. But the good news, they've got the lead right now here in the football 1st and 10. A quick throw, but incomplete.
Today's NFL, these big guys are featured receivers. They move them all over the place to try and find good matchups. And they had one. They were just unable to complete the pass.
Now Geno. They'll try and set up the screen. It's complete. And they get to him after a gain of 6 to the 46.
That's a nice design there, but sometimes, though, you get so many blockers out ahead of you, they kind of slow you down and force you to adjust. You always appreciate guys trying to help you, but maybe one less there could have turned this into a bigger gain.
Here's Smith. And that one too wide and incomplete.
So many times we've seen him try to escape the pocket and do something with his legs, but in this case, the pressure was too intense and he made the wise choice to just get rid of the football and make sure no one was going to get it.
And here's Dixon to punt now as he gets this one away. And no return possible here as they angle this one out of bounds. L.A. set to take over again on offense. So now, Charles, this drive maybe a touch more important, trying to erase the memory of that interception they had the last time out.
Yeah, and everyone goes through this because even the best in the game, you're going to have games where it just doesn't go right for you and interceptions result. So, frankly, to me, it's all about how you respond, not just the types of plays that you call, but how you carry yourself, how you show your team that you're still with it, and how you continue to lead.
They'll send a receiver in motion left. Throwing is Stafford. And he checks this one down to Williams. And he'll be brought down right at the 45-yard line. 9 yards to pick up there, and it's a 1st down.
And the Rams first down.
They give it to Williams, running right. He'll get this up to the 47 and brought down there. So following the hold, they're in a bit of a hole here with a 1st and 20. And they'll send the tight end in motion. Here's Stafford. That's into the hands of Parkinson, the tight end. So the completion results there in 9 yards. And that's going to bring up 2nd down. 2 minutes to play in this first half. 7-3, our score. Again, it's Stafford. Looking middle, and it's incomplete.
Well, this is a half where not just the coverage, but the entire defense is setting the tone in this game.
They'll fake the give. Now Stafford. And the throw there going to be incomplete. The passing game not in sync here early. And now it's 4th down.
It's going to be another frustrating end to a drive here. This offense, they've not been able to get anything going in this first half. And now it's going to be time to gather on the sidelines and try and figure out what's going wrong. Who has an idea? Who has a plan? Time to implement it.
And the Seahawks get ready to trot out on the field. As we eke closer and closer to intermission, Charles, remember last time out they punted. They would love to get points here, especially if this is going to be their final possession of the first half.
Yeah, and this is what close games feel like because the pressure is on both sides, but sometimes the pressure is a little bit higher on the team with the slight edge because they're trying to hold on to that, trying to increase it. Let's see how this one continues.
Here's Smith. And this is going to be caught, but they'll say out of bounds. So it's incomplete. Following the play here, now we've got an injury. Hopefully, obviously nothing serious here. Medical staff, though, going to take a peek, and we'll take a break. On 3rd down, here's Walker. And he's going to lose yardage here back to the 14-yard line. The Rams going to go ahead and use the first of their timeouts, as the stoppage will come with a little under a minute to go in this first half. Now here's Michael Dixon as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. We'll call it a 42-yard punt, 3 on the return. And it will be 1st and 10 as they take over. The Rams going to take over late in this first half. And with great starting field position and a couple of timeouts at their disposal, they'll certainly have the green light here. To throw is Stafford. A throw out wide, going to be incomplete.
Well, this defense is going to have to finish the job. There's still a second half that they have to play. But so far, an absolute total effort. They've disrupted the passing game, stressed the pocket for the quarterback. They forced him into errant throws. Everything they're doing has been executed well.
Now the Rams will signal for a timeout, their second, as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the first half. Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. He's going to float this one deep right side. That's going to be knocked away and incomplete. The passing game not in sync here early, and now it's 4th down. Here comes the Rams punter now, as he's on for the 5th time here today. And that one hits at the 7, but bounds into the end zone, and that'll be a touchback. And the Seahawks offense going to get one final possession in this first half. And with a 7-3 lead, we'll see how aggressive they want to be. Throwing now is Geno. Oh, he was hit as he threw it there, and that one winds up incomplete.
Partner, what we're seeing so far is a defense that's certainly coordinated. Both levels doing their jobs in tandem. The back helping the front helping the back. The pressure got home on that last play and forced him to try and throw through contact and short of the sticks. They have to like what they've done defensively here at the outset of this drive. They forced a couple of incomplete passes, bring up a 3rd and 10. Don't be surprised to bring a little pressure on this snap.
This time they stay on the ground, and they will get to him behind the line, but the clock continues to tick down. The Rams going to be forced to use their 3rd and final timeout as they stop it with 19 seconds to go in half number 1. And on 4th down, on is the punt team sending this one away. So a change of possession here on the punt. And control of the football switching hands with very little time remaining until the half. Set to begin their next drive, the Rams offense at the line. And with time quickly fading here in the second quarter, not sure how aggressively, offensively they want to play this.
I think we'll find out just how much they trust their guys in this situation if they decide to take a shot.
Here's 2nd and 10. Back to throw, Stafford. And that will be incomplete. 4 ticks left here on the clock.
Tough series for the passing game. Things just aren't clicking. Hoping they can come through on this play and get this series back on track with a completion for enough yardage for a 1st down.
Able to find the open man. That's complete. And he's going to be out of bounds, but not before he takes it inside the 40. So we've reached intermission here in a low-scoring game. 7-3 is our score. As we'll send you eastward to Orlando. Standing by with that EA Sports halftime report now is Jonathan Coachman. Take it away, Coach.
Okay, Brandon, thanks very much. More from you and Charles in a bit. But first, time for a look around the NFL to see what's going on here in the late window. We'll start by heading out west, State Farm Stadium in Glendale, where it was the visiting Bears who come in and get the victory on the road. Caleb Williams, strong in the victory, as his guys up their mark to 6-2 on the year. From there, we head east to check out the Jets at home at MetLife Stadium. And they were winners in that one over the visiting Houston Texans. Aaron Rodgers, strong in the victory, as it pushes his guys back above the 500 mark on the year. Lastly, let's get up to Buffalo to check on the Bills. And they were winners in that one over the visiting Miami Dolphins. Josh Allen, strong in the win, as his guys start the second half with a victory that moves them to 6-3 on the year. It was the former comeback player of the year, Geno Smith, who was sharp in the first half. He has a touchdown pass, and that amounted to the only touchdown of the game for either team thus far.
And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line. Out come the Rams. They'll have it first here to begin the third quarter. And they do trail, but they have a chance to possess the football first to try and do something about it.
And that certainly makes it something of an important drive for them, because is it going to win the game? No, but you have to do something to bring some life to your sideline.
From the 31, here's a 2nd and 8. They run it again with Williams. And he'll be tackled just past the 35 at the 36.
Not a ton of room available on that one, but he made use of what space was available and gained decent yardage.
Now Stafford. That is caught. And he is going to have a Rams first down as they're able to get the third down conversion. Well, hang on now. We're going to pause here. We've got an injured player. Well, the medical staff is going to come out here and take a look, and we will take a short break. Now a first down carry. It's Williams. And he's up across midfield and down into Seattle territory. Tackled there by Rayshon Jenkins. From the 47, it's 2nd and 5. Now whistles and a flag down. I think one of the Rams linemen might have moved. The false start penalty, and now they're back to needing 10 yards on 2nd down. Now it's Stafford off the bootleg. He'll get this into the hands of the rookie from Texas. That's good. The completion there for 7 yards. And that'll bring us to a 3rd and 4. In search of 4 yards here to pick up the first down. Stafford now to throw. Screen play set up for Williams. And he is going to have a Rams first down, although it doesn't appear to be by much. He needed 4, and he got 4 on 3rd down.
And that one was a lot of fun right there, because that was the game within the game. 3rd and short, blitz was on. What's the key for the quarterback? Get out of your hands in a hurry. And that was a quick little completion. Got the job done for him.
And at the 7-yard line, the catch is made. Touchdown, L.A. Hunter Renfrow, his first touchdown on the year. And the Rams have taken the lead here in this 3rd quarter.
As a fan, is there anything prettier than a well-executed post route?
No, it's a thing of beauty, especially when it's done like that for a touchdown.
The throw, the catch, and how about the run after to get it to the end zone?
Extra point forthcoming. And it's through, and that makes the lead 10-7. So that drives 7 plays in length. And it was Hunter Renfrow who capped things off with a touchdown reception. The Rams kickoff team on the field, and here we go with the ball in the air. Oh, a dangerous return man showing it here. And they got to be pleased with this. He brings it all the way up to the 40-yard line. And it appears we've got a member of the Rams shaken up on that last play. The medical staff will attend to him, and we will step aside. Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. And, Charles, it feels like we're set up for a good second half here. Came out of the locker room, one-score game. Now the lead has already changed hands. Well, this offense, they've got an opportunity right now to take that lead right back.
Yeah, and it feels like you're going back and forth almost a little bit like a tennis match, right? And we're just, our heads just keep moving. Which side has it? Which side's going to score? How are they going to go out doing it? A little bit of a challenge for each side trying to match each other.
4 yards the pickup, first down. From the 50, it's Smith. To the right side and complete to Metcalf.
I think as he began this throw, you saw that the area was congested, but he has a lot of confidence in his arm, and he fits that one in there nicely. They pick up the catch, not much yardage afterwards.
This ball tipped, and it's going to be incomplete. Fortunate maybe to get that back. It's third down. Coming up here looking for 3 yards to pick up the first. Now Smith. Completes it to Fant on the right side. And he works it past the 30, almost to the 25. Second catch for him today, and it'll wind up a first down.
You don't always expect tight ends to be big in terms of run after the catch, but after that play, he joins a growing band of players that's putting that stereotype right on its ear.
Geno now to throw. He's going to let it go deep for the end zone. And this is going to be intercepted. Tre'Davious White with a pick. And the Rams are going to take possession here. It's a touchback, and they'll take over at the 20-yard line. If you combine last week and this week, he's got a hat trick going because he had 2 interceptions a week ago.
He's seeing the ball so well and understanding where receivers are and positioning. I mean, just watching him work with such great technique and paying it off by actually catching the ball when he has a chance, he's helping his team in a huge way.
Here comes Matthew Stafford now to lead his offense back out there. And he had the touchdown on the last drive, also 4 for 4. Very, very effective. What does he need to do to translate that forward into this drive?
Not think that what he saw in coverages last time is exactly what he's going to get again. He's got to play ahead and start thinking to himself, okay, we just did that. What are they going to take away now? What do we go to as a counter? And continue to encourage his offensive line to continue to give him time.
They were really good on the last drive. From the 22, here's 2nd and 8. Again, it's Williams. And he'll go down right at the 30-yard line. 63 yards rushing for him now to this point. Here comes 3rd and the length of the football. Now it's Stafford. And this pass broken up. Excellent coverage there on 3rd down, as that was not an easy one to hold on to.
Oh, I thought he had that one, and that was nearly a big 3rd down conversion to give this drive some life. Instead, they're on the spot and help separate the receiver from the ball.
A call for a fair catch, and it's made at about the 23-yard line. So possession goes over here on the punt, and it'll be Seahawk football, 1st and 10. Now Smith and the Seahawks going to come up 1st and 10 at their own 24. A quick throw there going to be batted away and incomplete.
You get the sense that they're saying we're not playing up to what we're capable of, and we're deep enough into the game that the early jitters are long gone, that they should now have some sense of continuity and be able to make some of these plays that they have not been doing so far.
He'll be brought down on the 30-yard line after a gain of 6. These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on 3rd down. Throw out wide to Walker. And he gets this up to the 34 out of bounds there. The result, only 4 yards there on the play. And that's going to bring up a 4th down. Now here's Michael Dixon as he's on to punt for Seattle. That'll be a 41-yard punt, 4 yards there on the return. And the Rams will go on offense here with a 1st and 10. So here are the Rams to take over. They lost 7 in a row coming into this ball game, but lo and behold, they have the lead here as this drive begins, 1st and 10. He'll be hit down at the 33, 5 yards on the play.
But that kind of run on 1st down, that's a winning type of a run. That just sets things up for them moving forward as they begin the drive.
Now Stafford. He'll get that complete to Parkinson. He'll be tackled shy of the 35. The power move there couldn't buy him much space. Here is 3rd down and 4. Here's Stafford. Work in the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete. And he is going to have a Rams 1st down as he'll be marked down a yard or 2 past the marker following a gain of 6.
1st down, Rams.
In motion goes the tight end. Stafford. It's a short one here, complete to his tight end. So 5 yards here, 5 on the play. And it's 2nd down.
Brings up 2nd and 5 at the 45-yard line.
Now a handoff. Here's Williams. And no room that time, getting it to about the 46. They follow up the gain of 5 by only getting 1 there on 2nd down. Stafford. Trying to improvise. 8 yards that time, able to take off, and the result is a 1st down.
We have so many different terms for 3rd down, 3rd and short, 3rd and long, 3rd and manageable. How about 3rd and medium? Because that's what this one was. The defense looked like they had him hemmed in, but he gets away, evades the rush, and picks up just enough for the 1st down.
He'll drop this down to Williams, and he'll get it down here to the 43.
Well, offensively, that's the mismatch that you want. You want to force a linebacker to try and cover your back out of the backfield, out in some open space. But linebackers nowadays, they run like backs, and they take a lot of pride in covering. What a nice play he made there in the open field.
And that'll wind up moving the chains again as the tackle's going to be made at the Seahawks' 29-yard line.
It's taken a while for this offense to get going. A little creaky at the start, but they're oiled up now. A nice throw there, and they're really putting together a good drive.
It's a short one here, complete to the tight end. And it appears we've got a member of the Rams shaken up on that last play. Well, now they're going to come out and take a look at this injury, and we'll be back in a moment. From the 23, here's a 2nd and 4. Throwing is Stafford. He's got it to Williams. And that'll wind up moving the chains again as the tackle's going to be made at the Seahawks' 13-yard line. From the 13 now, they work on 1st and 10. Here's Stafford. Finds the open target, Arnold. And he'll get nothing out of that one. So he'll be stopped here for no gain. And it'll be 2nd down.
At the 14-yard line.
Again, it's Stafford. He's got it. And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Rams. Cooper Kupp, a 14-yard touchdown. And the Rams will add on to their lead here in the final minute of the third. Well, this offense only mustered 3 points in the first half on that field goal. They picked up the pace now, 2 third-quarter touchdowns.
Hey, you remember that appearance we had last week in front of that crowd, and they asked about halftime adjustments and all that was going on. And remember what I said, it's not always an adjustment at halftime. Sometimes just remembering the game plan and playing better, tuning it up and just working through it methodically. They got it done in this case.
Of course, I'll always remember that appearance because I had on a brown belt with black shoes, and you pointed that out in front of the crowd. So thanks for that.
I said that out loud?
You did.
My bad.
And that flag accepted. After the roughing penalty on the PAT, they'll kick off from 15 yards further upfield. And we will not have a return. They'll bring this to the 30. And we will get another look at Seattle's offense. And they have had their problems moving the ball through the air as we take you through some of the action from earlier. This secondary has played about as well as you can. Many times they've left this quarterback with nowhere to go with the football. Now Smith and the Seahawks going to come up 1st and 10 right at the 30. Here's Walker to start the drive. And he's brought down at the 34. Call it a gain of 4.
Well, it's time for them to be good teammates right here. And what I mean by that is possess the ball for a little while. Get at least 2 first downs. Give their defense a chance to settle down a little bit after they give up a touchdown.
Oh, hit as he throws there, incomplete.
And those two just haven't been in sync thus far. They've done a nice job against him, but still, with his talent, you would expect them to have more completions to him in this game.
And that went to the right side and incomplete.
Looks like another empty possession offensively, and you're at that point in the game where you can't afford too many more of these. So this is going to require some heavy thinking on the sideline to figure out what they can do to crack this defense.
On 4th down, the punt team is on as this is sent away. Fielded just inside the 20. 3 quarters in the books. We'll return with more after this. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. Back now in Seattle, Washington. It's the Rams out in front here. They've got control of the football as well as we get set for the 4th quarter. Set to begin their next drive, the Rams offense at the line. Now, there are 2 scores on the plus side. Still time here in this 4th quarter, but maybe you start thinking about playing keep away?
Yeah, I think here's the situation. You're not thinking touchdowns anymore. You're just thinking first downs. To keep up with your theme there, playing keep away, first downs, they can't touch the ball. There's a reason inside linebackers are often captains of a defense. They call the signals. They have the opportunity to affect the game in coverage, against the run, and, of course, on blitzes. Living in the best of both worlds here. Already has an interception. Now he gets to record a sack, too.
Off of play action. Here's Stafford. That one taken in by Whittington.
Stafford's pass completed to Jordan Whittington. A gain of 10 yards. And it's 3rd down.
Here's 3rd and 9. To throw is Stafford. That to the right sideline, and it falls incomplete. Critical play in this football game, because if they pick up the first there, that clock keeps rolling.
Has to be a little frustrating for them because they know that if they pick up a first down there and continue to eat away at the clock, really increases their chances of closing this one out. Now they're likely going to have to give the football up and sweat it out on the sideline.
Here come the Seahawks now, set to take over on offense. Their defense was able to force the punt. That's the good news, but this is still a 2-score game, and they need points on this drive and in a relatively quick manner. And nothing much materializing there on the first down run. He'll get a couple, and that's it. Ball on the 28-yard line. Here's a 2nd and 8. Now Geno. And that throw behind his man. He missed him. Incomplete. He started out having some troubles back in the first half connecting with his receivers. Really hasn't gotten a whole lot better.
Yeah, he's at less than 50%, and you and I both know that just won't do. So I would think about spreading things out, putting it on the receivers, make them win those one-on-one battles on the perimeter and find their way open.
He had a man open, but he missed him, and it's incomplete.
Well, how about the coverage we just saw him break out on 3rd down? Dime defense, blanketed the field with extra defensive backs and speed, unable to find an open hole to complete that pass.
So they're forced to punt on 4th as this one's away. The Rams offense and Matthew Stafford set to take over once again. And as we show you some of the highlights from earlier, he has been instrumental in getting his guys the lead as he looks to finish strong and close this one out. The LA offense ready to go for their next drive. They've got a chance now to put this game away following that last defensive stop and punt. Back to throw, Stafford. This to Arnold on the short pass. And they're able to get this one across the 35. A gain of 11 to kick off the drive, and it's a quick first down.
First down, Rams.
Back to throw. Stafford. They'll set up the screen. This is Williams. And he'll go out of bounds. It appears right at the 45. Ball spotted at the 45. Here's 2nd down and a yard. Now a play fake and it's Stafford. And that one complete downfield to Kupp. And he'll be out just a yard or two shy of the 30. That'll put him at 77 yards receiving for the ball game. It's a first down.
But when you're up by 2 scores in the 4th quarter and you're going to throw the football, expect to see a lot of man coverage, because usually what comes along with man coverage is pressure. So if you're a play caller and you want to keep throwing the football, that's fine. Just make sure your offensive line understands they're going to get additional guys running at the quarterback.
Now Stafford. He finds his man, complete. It's Arnold. And down he goes, taking it inside the 10, just shy of the 5 at the 6. A good pickup there, 26 yards. A good chance now to put this game on ice. This is 1st and goal. And they'll send the tight end in motion here. Back to throw again. Looking for and finding Arnold once again. Nice job defensively to hold him to 4, and now it's 2nd and goal.
I don't care what sport you're playing. Everyone likes to build up a little momentum, don't they? And look at this, back-to-back completions to the big target at tight end.
That one not as profitable as the other, but still a decent gain. And they're going to get to him, a sack. Sacked back at the 9-yard line. Tyrell Dodson. The blitz works to perfection as he gets in there to dump him for a loss of 8. Now whistles and a flag down. I think one of the Rams linemen might have moved. A bad time for a false start penalty as they're backed up now for 3rd and goal. Stafford now to throw. And he will not be able to hang on through the contact. It's incomplete. The coverage strong, and now it's 4th down. So now one of the biggest kicks of the night is forthcoming. From the right hash, this a 31-yard attempt. And his kick is indeed good, and that will open the lead up now to 20-7. So that maybe not a knockout blow, but I suppose certainly every little bit helps when you're trying to salt one away in the 4th.
Well, the possibility of being beaten by 2 late touchdowns or at least sent to overtime does exist, but time, definitely a big factor at this stage of the game, is in their favor.
As Seattle now ready to march out of the field. See if they can put this drive in the end zone, Charles, because it's been a little bit of a rough go at times. They've had to punt the football a ton in this ball game because of stalled out drives.
So are you saying that you're kind of tired of seeing the punter run out there and do his thing during this game? Is that what you're trying to say?
Well, I mean, I'm okay with it. I have a feeling that this offense, they don't want to see the punter again.
And frankly, the punter doesn't want to run out there anymore himself. He would love to see his offense put together a drive and give his leg a rest.
Smith. This one into the hands of Metcalf. And they get to him after a gain of 6 to the 46. Here now, 2nd and 4.
At the 46-yard line.
From the gun, here's Smith. He hits his target, Lockett. And this is going to be another first down as the tackle's going to be made at the Rams' 27-yard line. That's good for 28 yards.
This defense has certainly had an outstanding second half, haven't they? I know they just gave up a first down there, and for the offense, they're hoping that that's something that they can jumpstart with and maybe start to move the ball a little bit better. But it's been tough sledding for them here the entire second half.
Up the middle, here's Walker. And he'll get it down this time to the 17. 90 yards rushing for him now as he has been tremendous all day long. A good position to be in here, 2nd and inches.
10 yards on the pickup.
Sticking with Walker on 2nd down. And on this one, he'll get to the 15, right at the 15-yard line. Now we're going to get a timeout here as it looks like there's a Seahawk injured on the play. So as the medical staff takes a look, we'll step aside. Line of scrimmage, the 15. It's 1st and 10. And the result here, a pickup of 8. Leaves him with 2 to go on 2nd down.
That's a strong pickup right there on 1st down. And as this drive goes on, we're seeing an offensive line and running game imposing its will.
And he takes it into the end zone across the chalk. Now there is a flag down, but I think that's offsides on the defense.
Yeah, I think that's going to stand, partner.
Offside. Defense.
So obviously they will decline the penalty there, and the result is 6 points.
That penalty is declined.
The extra point now coming from Myers. And it's good. The deficit 6, 20-14. So this drive spans 7 plays. And it's DK Metcalf who finishes things off with a touchdown reception. And a decent return out to the 27-yard line. The Rams offense and their quarterback ready to go once more. And he has been masterful so far in leading this offense. He's kept the mistakes to a minimum. He's been on point with his passes, and he's generally been one step ahead of this defense all game long. They begin the drive with Williams. 5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on 1st down.
Good push from the offensive line, and they've done well so far to build this lead. Now they've got to get things to the finish line, and that's a solid pickup there to begin the drive.
They'll fake the give. Now Stafford. This one swung out to Williams.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
False start. Offense.
Now after the false start, they need 8 yards here on 3rd down. Now it's Stafford. And that is incomplete. And sensing the momentum maybe changing here a little bit, Charles.
Yeah, this defense is going to get off the field quickly, and their offense got them a touchdown last time they had the ball, so they should get another shot.
And the punt team on now as this one's sent away. And a fair catch signaled for and taken just outside the 20-yard line. The Seahawks offense had Kenneth Walker set to take over once more. And it's hard to believe you could run the ball a whole lot better than he has. The vision, the cutback ability, the acceleration, it's all been on display throughout. They'll run with Walker to begin the drive. And some room to maneuver. And they're going to get this beyond the 40 before he's taken down. Great way to start the drive. 20 big ones and a first down.
Another carry for their leader and a good one. It's crunch time. They'll need him to continue to be productive in both the run and passing game in order for them to try and snatch a victory.
One play has him up past the 40 already, and another 1st and 10. Throwing now is Geno. Got a man. It's Brown. They'll give him 4 yards there, and that will bring up 2nd down.
4 yards on the pickup. 2nd and 6 at the 47-yard line.
Out of the gun, Walker with it. And very little running room there. He did get a couple up to the 49.
Offside. Defense.
And that one was relatively easy to see. I noticed that from up here.
Yeah, it doesn't take a whole lot, does it? Sometimes you get multiples. What I always love on these offsides is when each side points at the other. Hey, you did it. No, you did it. They deciphered that one correctly.
Straight ahead, Walker fights him off. And he'll take it down shy of the 45 at the 46. Able to get the 1 yard he needed, but nothing more.
1st and 10 at the 46-yard line.
Out of the gun, Smith. Opted to run for it. The decision, a good one. Picking up the first, getting 14 yards on the scramble. Well, there you go. Save your best scramble of the day for a big-time situation in the 4th quarter, picking up the first.
You don't want to use it up early, right? You want to make sure you save it for that exact moment, that key time, and that's...
And he is going to be taken down. They got him, as that is going to take us to the 2-minute warning. And now after that sack, we'll pause here a moment because someone was shaken up on that play. Here comes 2nd down. And Howe will throw it. Targeting the out route, and he completes this to Metcalf. So it's Seahawk football as we march toward a conclusion. They face a critical 3rd down now, needing a score here in the late going. And he bats it away, and it falls down incomplete.
Partner, they've got one chance left to keep this one going, and I think for you and me, let's think along with their offensive coordinator now. Has to think back, cycle through every play of this contest, and remember what's worked and what hasn't. Because right here, he needs the best play of the game in order to keep this one alive.
And it's incomplete. They cannot convert, and they turn it over. They had to go for it with such little time remaining, and the Rams are going to take possession of the turnover on downs. So good starting field position for them here as they come up 1st and 10 at their 35-yard line. They'll try and run down some clock with Williams. And he's got it up over the 40 to the 41.
Offside. Defense.
Well, we looked at each other right when he flinched. We knew that that flag was coming.
Yeah, offsides, easy call, mark off the 5, and keep it moving.
A boost here to start the drive. After the penalty, it's 1st and 5. Now contact up front as penalty markers come in. Who is this against?
Defense.
Jumpy on the right side of the line.
Sometimes when you're on the end, a little bit farther away from the ball, any type of movement will get you to jump, and that's exactly what happened there.
So the yellow flag came out, and that leads to a new set of downs for this offense. 1st and 10. Now a give up the middle to Williams. And he finds a little bit of room, enough for 4 yards. It'll be second down. Now the Seahawks going to use the first of their timeouts as they get it with under a minute to go now in the football game. Another run on second down, trying to cover up. And he's up across midfield and down into Seattle territory. 2 yards still to go. Third down now. Stafford now to throw. Able to find the open man. That's complete. And even though he gets out of bounds to stop the clock, it's not going to matter. That first down going to be enough to write a finish to this one. The Rams go victory formation as they take the knee. Now the Seahawks forced to use their third and final timeout as they get the stoppage with just under 50 seconds remaining in the fourth. And they take a knee. So he'll take a knee here to wrap this one up, and he's going to want to keep that game ball. He was sensational. So the L.A. Rams with a victory here. And say what you want about Lumen Field here in Seattle, but for my money, this is the loudest and most difficult place to win in the league when you're on the road.
It's very hard. The fan support, off the charts. The way that they make noise and understand when to make noise, they understand the game as well as anyone. And how about what we get in our media packets when we start preparing for the game? They have it in their own stuff, right? The number of offsides penalties, false start penalties that they draw against the opposing team because of that fan support. And last but not least, they designed the stadium to keep the noise in, and it works.
But not in this one. They were able to somehow come in here and get that victory. So for Los Angeles, they finally taste victory for the first time after 7 straight defeats. And they'll get another road date next week. Meanwhile, for Seattle, they are barely afloat as they fall to 4-5. And they're going to get an extra week to stew over this as they're not back in action until week 11.